Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In the intricate tapestry of narcissistic family dynamics, a disturbing trend emerges: the existence of parentification and infantilization. Parentification is where children are assigned parental roles and responsibilities, distorting the natural order of caregiving, and transforming childhood innocence into a burden of premature maturity. Conversely, infantilization is perpetuating childlike dependency and incompetence in adults, stifling their growth and autonomy. Both phenomena represent dual sides of a dysfunctional coin, perpetuating a cycle of imbalance and dysfunction within families. These behaviors in narcissistic families are frequently concealed beneath layers of societal norms and expectations that obscure the darker corners of these toxic family environments. In such settings, roles become blurred, boundaries are non-existent, and dysfunction reigns supreme. In today's video, we delve into the depths of these behaviors, exploring their roots, manifestations, and profound impacts on individuals within these familial structures. Parentification is a phenomenon where children are forced into assuming roles and responsibilities typically reserved for adults. In such environments, children find themselves acting as caretakers for their siblings and their parents, providing emotional support, financial assistance, or performing household chores beyond their years. In such environments, the child is also taught to anticipate their parents' needs. They learn to read their parents and know what they want and need without asking. The child has to buoy the parent up, tell them they are great, and do various errands that the parents should be doing for themselves, only to be criticized for not doing the tasks well enough. Here, the child becomes the emotional crutch or caretaker for the parent. The parents impose their responsibilities on the child, using them to fulfill those duties. Narcissistic parents are very skilled at gaslighting the child into thinking that these tasks are the child's responsibility. The narc parent does not really even see the child. They only see the child as an extension of themselves, like an extra limb, and definitely something to take full advantage of and use and abuse to the fullest. The children carry the weight of adult burdens on their young shoulders, often sacrificing their own needs and desires in the process. They become confidants, caregivers, and emotional anchors, forced to navigate the turbulent waters of adult responsibilities, without the necessary guidance or tools required to fulfill the role. The implications of parentification are profound and far-reaching. At the heart of parentification lies a profound betrayal of the child's right to be nurtured and protected. While the child may develop a sense of responsibility and competence beyond their peers, they are deprived of the essential elements of childhood, carefree play, and emotional nurturance. These children often grow up with a skewed perception of their own needs and boundaries, prioritizing the needs of others at the expense of their own well-being. As adults, they may struggle with intimacy, oscillating between self-sacrifice and resentment, unable to form healthy connections, built on reciprocity and mutual respect. Parentified children become hypervigilant, constantly attuned to the emotional needs of others at the expense of their own. Moreover, parentification disrupts the natural hierarchy within the family, blurring boundaries and eroding the parent-child relationship. The child becomes a pseudo-parent, often feeling a sense of duty and obligation towards their siblings and their parents. This reversal of roles can lead to confusion, resentment, and a profound sense of loss of childhood innocence. On the flip side of the coin lies infantilization, a tactic employed by toxic families to maintain control and power over their members. In infantilization, individuals, typically adult children, are kept in a perpetual state of dependency and immaturity, and are unable to assert their autonomy or independence. In such environments, parents or authority figures undermine the individual's confidence and competence, infantilizing them through overprotection, micromanagement, or belittlement. This can manifest in various forms, from making decisions on behalf of the individual, to actively discouraging their pursuit of independence or personal growth. This abuse is forced codependency. They do this to keep you stuck with them for as long as possible. This is why they use passive-aggressive manipulations and gaslighting to make you feel guilty for wanting to live your own life. They exaggerate illness, tell you nobody else wants you, claim they are the only ones who understand and love you, deny you education, prevent you from getting a driver's license, get you fired from your job, and turn others against you. Infantilization serves to perpetuate the power dynamics within the family, ensuring that the individual remains reliant on the toxic family system for validation, support, and identity. It stifles personal development, robbing the individual of the opportunity to explore their potential and pursue their aspirations. They never let the adult child be autonomous, imposing overprotection to a pathological point. The child lives in constant fear of getting into trouble because they never know what they are supposed to do, eventually giving up and letting the parent take over. This dynamic makes the child mentally ill and incapable of functioning independently. They develop a fear of doing anything on their own. Due to this inner turmoil, many a times, the child becomes overweight and unhealthy. These narcissist parents then portray themselves as poor martyrs, with such sick children. Whether through overprotective parenting, emotional manipulation, or the perpetuation of familial roles, adults find themselves trapped in a state of arrested development. In a narcissistic toxic family environment, one is never allowed to truly embrace their chronological age. As a child, you're prematurely burdened with responsibilities through parentification, expected to navigate and regulate your parents' emotions, as if you were an adult. Any misstep is met with disproportionate anger and reprimand, as if you possess fully developed cognitive abilities to deal with that situation. Later in adulthood, the dynamic shifts as you are infantilized, leaving you feeling incompetent and directionless. Your autonomy is undermined, and you're constantly invalidated, stripped of the ability to form your own opinions or make independent decisions. You're dictated on how to think and live, deprived of the agency to navigate your own life. Toxic narcissistic families exhibit a pattern of never truly accepting your identity or acknowledging the phase of life you're in. They lack respect and fail to see you as a human, leading to a continuous shifting of the goalpost. You're denied the opportunity to fully embrace your childhood joys or adult responsibilities, as they constantly redefine the standards. As a child, you're denied the right to enjoy innocence and playfulness, while as an adult, you're incessantly undermined, told you lack understanding and competence in various aspects of life. Infantilization and parentification can also often go hand in hand in a family dynamic, led by a disordered narcissist, meaning both infantilization and parentification occur at the same time. For example, a child can be expected to take responsibility for an adult's emotions, actions, and responses, such as being told, "You made me mad," or "You embarrassed me," or even worse, "You made me hit you." These sorts of assertions make the child responsible for the actions of an adult, and train the child to be very alert to how the adults in the family orbit, or are feeling and reacting to everything. A child will be made to believe that they are responsible for the actions of a parent, or they are made to cover or lie for a parent, such as telling a boss that the hungover parent is sick when the employer calls, or telling school officials that you got those bruises due to a fall, instead of indicting the parent's actions. The child might be pitted against a parent, or told not to tell the other parent something important, like dad picked you up from school drunk, and provided a dangerous drive home. The child may be enlisted into providing child care to other children in the family, forced into learning to cook at a young age, so you can feed yourself and others, and learning to be alone without parental support from a young age. These are all signs of parentification that occur in a narcissistic household. A child will feel the parent's resentment of them if they should be sick or injured, when the child needs the parent as a caregiver. They will be told how much the child or their care or food costs, and will certainly be made to feel very inconvenient for the parent, even though this child may also clean up after themselves and others, cook, wash and fold the laundry, or even clean the bathroom or bathtub after using. And very importantly, parental affection will be tied to your performance. If you help, if you provide a service, if you make good grades to make the parent look good, if you fawn or heap praise on the narc parent, you will be given positive attention, or conditional love. And then, at the same time, this child, who has become extremely good at skills such as eggshell walking, always being uber helpful and polite, avoiding ever stating their needs, getting by without lunch money, or proper clothing for the weather, or resources for much of anything, not pissing anyone off, resourceful and self-reliant, is also given messages from the parent, along the lines of, "You are inept, you mess up everything. You can't do anything right, or you are incompetent. You are stupid, or you really need to ask me, the all-knowing parent, first." Children in a narcissist family are receiving the very clear message that their ideas, thoughts, and deeds do not matter, and are not worthy of consideration, and that the child can't make it on their own, while at the same time, this child is forced to make it on their own. Confused? Well, you should be, because confusion is a primary tactic of these narcissistic parents. After leaving a child to fend for themselves for days on end, this same child will be told, "You really need to have your homework checked so you don't turn in stupid errors." The mixed messages are to invalidate, to undermine, and to control. That is what narcissists do. Narcissists don't love anyone, and that includes their children. When it comes to their children, it becomes literally a case of, "I made you, so I own you." A narcissist's children are not their children, they are their slaves. They are not even people, they are objects, or pets on the best days. A narcissist's children are born to serve them, to be of use to them. Despite all this, you can expect the narcissistic parent to pretend to be the most loving and devoted parent in the whole entire history of humanity. You can expect the most passionate claims of loving their children more than anything else, of being willing to do anything for their children, of wanting nothing but the happiness of the children, and so on. It's all BS, but they are so good at pretending that most everyone believes them, including quite often their own children, who will deny their own pain and twist their minds to invent excuses for their parents' behavior. Ironically, these children often idealize their parents like brainwashed zombies, describing them as wonderful, amazing, and so kind. Control is one of the priorities of the narcissists. For the narcissist to secure toxic supply, they must ensure that these children are controlled as much as possible, and so independence, critical skills, freedom, individuality, affection are never encouraged. Narcissistic parents often alienate their children from the other parent and discourage unity among siblings, as this would put the narcissist at a disadvantage. Each child is smeared behind their backs, leaving them unsure of whom to trust. Isolation is another tactic, as narcissists know that the more isolated a person is, the weaker they become. Additionally, narcissists frequently rage at their children, showing no empathy for how heartbroken or fearful the children might become. These outbursts can occur over the slightest incident and persist throughout the children's lives. Narcissistic parents want complete control over and subservience from their children. They also want to feed from their child's soul and spirit. Each time they crush their child's spirit, confidence, happiness, and independence, it gives them a rush. The focus is on the challenge of manipulating and controlling their child into doing something they don't want to do, all the while claiming that it's for the child's benefit, when it's really only advantageous for the narcissist. And narcissists can be so shameless. They hate you in a unique way, yet they will still try to manipulate and draw you back in. This behavior is not logical from a human point of view. However, when you understand that their only strategy is to destroy human beings, you begin to comprehend who narcissists truly are. A narcissistic parent may treat their child as a substitute spouse, even if they are in an adult relationship. They will share things with the child that are entirely inappropriate, as everything revolves around the narcissist's needs and desires. A narcissist parent is more predisposed to abusing and using their child, and avoids making friends outside the family, as they are harder to manipulate and control. Outsiders often have their own opinions, which the narcissist dislikes. This tendency makes it rare for narcissists to maintain long-term friendships, and the moment a friend disagrees with them, the relationship typically ends. In their illness or old age, the narcissist will feel entitled to be looked after by their children, regardless of the consequences for the child. Nothing matters but the narcissist. So, the child's physical, mental, and emotional health won't matter, nor will their children, their job, or relationships. Narcissists have children to serve them for their entire life. They know exactly which strings to pull to manipulate their child, exploiting the child's need for their parents' love and approval. Narcissists are like black holes, constantly needing attention and energy from others, but it's never enough. They will drain those around them until there's nothing left but a shell of the person, and then complain that there's nothing more to take. Narcissists are energy vampires, and the greatest challenge for the narcissistic parent is the empathic, caring child. There's a lot to take from this child. They want their very spark, their soul, as they don't have their own soul. They want to take other people's, never knowing that it's not possible. The insidious nature of these dynamics lies in their ability to masquerade it as acts of love and protection. Parentified children are praised for their maturity and selflessness, while infantilized adults are made to believe that they are being shielded from the harsh realities of the world. Yet beneath these veneers of care, lie seeds of resentment, frustration, and unmet needs, festering in the shadows of unspoken truths. The consequences of these dynamics are profound. Parentified children are at risk for burnout, low self-esteem, and difficulty forming healthy relationships. They may struggle to identify their own needs and set boundaries, leading to a pattern of attracting emotionally unavailable partners or falling into codependent friendships. Infantilized individuals often lack the competence and skills necessary to navigate adulthood, leading to feelings of inadequacy and stunted emotional growth. They may experience anxiety, depression, and difficulty managing daily responsibilities. For those entrenched in toxic familial dynamics, the journey towards healing is fraught with challenges and setbacks. It requires confronting uncomfortable truths, mourning the loss of what could have been, and forging a new path forward, guided by self-awareness and self-compassion. Breaking free from the cycle of parentification and infantilization requires courage, introspection, and often, external support. It entails unraveling from the deeply ingrained patterns of behavior and beliefs that have woven themselves into the fabric of one's identity. It requires reclaiming agency, setting boundaries, and embracing the complexities of adulthood with grace and resilience. While families are complex systems, it's crucial to recognize and address dysfunctional patterns. By understanding and dismantling parentification and infantilization, one can pave the way for a more balanced and fulfilling family dynamic. This journey may involve professional guidance and prioritizing self-care, at long last, leading to a future where individual needs are honored and positive growth is encouraged. So, I hope this content was helpful. As always, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. Always feel free to share your experiences in the comment section below. I express my gratitude to everyone for tuning in and watching. Let us help spread the awareness and lead healthier and fulfilling lives.